Welcome to Staying United Methodist, sponsored by Imagine Kentucky Methodism. Imagine Kentucky Methodism is supported by clergy and laity of the Kentucky Conference, who envision a form of Kentucky United Methodism that is welcoming to people of all skin colors, ages, genders, sexual orientations, cultures, abilities, and theologies within the United Methodist Church. Hi, I'm Phil Hill, your host for today, and I want to welcome you as we also welcome our guest, President Marcia Hawkins. She is the 19th president of Union College in Barbourville, Kentucky, and Union College is the first post-secondary institution of higher education to become a Reconciling Network affiliate. Dr. Hawkins, we welcome you, and as you begin, would you give us kind of a quick update on the status of Union College?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. Union College was created by the citizens of Barbourville, Kentucky. You may not know that we were not created to affiliate with the United Methodist Church. We were started in 1879 by the citizens so that their children wouldn't have to go a long way to get an education. But the school had a hard time making expenses, and after just a few years, the school was auctioned off to the highest bidder, and the winning bid was submitted by Daniel Stevenson on behalf of the Methodist Episcopal Church South, unbeknownst to the church. So the church gave Reverend Stevenson 6 months to raise the money to pay for Union, and he did. The money was raised or donated by one of Reverend Stevenson's parishioners from the church in Louisville, Mrs. Joshua Speed, Fanny Speed, and thus began the union of the college and the church. So today we serve about 1,200 students, mostly from Kentucky, and most of those from southeastern Kentucky, but also from several states and several countries. We have undergraduate and graduate programs in business and nursing and education and all of those that you will see in pretty much any college. And we're going strong. We want to cap our students at a certain level so that we always remain a small community and always remain true to our Wesley roots in education and the church.
Thank you. That's great. Well, President Hawkins, tell us a little bit about what was the driving force or what was behind Union College becoming the first college to, or university actually in the world, to become a Reconciling Ministry Network institution?
Well, a few years ago, my colleagues and I, who served at that time on the board of what's now the North American Association of Schools and Colleges of the United Methodist Church, were among the first to draft a statement of concern regarding the church's, what we saw as exclusionary language with respect to our homosexual brothers and sisters. And we were struggling with how we could, in good conscience, profess our belief in the sacred worth of every human being and yet exclude some from following their call to ministry. How could we celebrate the diversity of our campuses and the connection to our church in the same breath? And prior to the statement from NASCM, my own Union College Board of Trustees expressed conflict about the language, and I was instructed to send a letter of concern on their behalf to the conference, which I did. So joining Reconciling Ministry Network was a logical next step, and we didn't join to be first. As a matter of fact, there was discussion on the board about whether or not it was a good idea to be the first college to join, but ultimately it was the right thing to do. As an institution of higher education affiliated with the United Methodist Church, we want our students to go into the world as educated and productive and reasoning citizens who call out injustice when they see it. And we have to practice what we preach. So personally, I believe the more specific we get about excluding people who sincerely desire to serve in the church, or about causes we will not support, the more confusing the language becomes and the more hurtful and unjust we become. Love your neighbor, do no harm. So that's how we got here.
That's fantastic. And so what do you think this will mean then for union students, say today and for the future?
It means we value our connection to the United Methodist Church. And, the church has found it necessary over the past few years to reduce support of higher education. But there's a strong bond. There's a strong historical connection between Methodism and education. It's the way to justice. It's the way out of poverty. And we believe in that education and church connection, and we will continue to be affiliated with the United Methodist Church as long as they'll have us.
Right, great. So, as you know, the hope of our project that we're doing here is to encourage people to remain United Methodist in light of the fact that, we may pass the protocol legislation at General Conference coming up later this year. I'm wondering, what would you say to United Methodist persons, churches, even conferences? How would you encourage them to remain United Methodist? What would you say to them?
There are differences in every family. There are disagreements in every family. We want our students to understand that it's important to work through differences, that it's worth the effort to listen to other points of view, and that you don't have to have the answer. But you should value the question, and you should value your community enough to search for that answer together. Reconciliation is a difficult, often painful process, but I would urge churches and individuals and our brothers and sisters to not give up now. Let's not give up now.
Dr. Hawkins, we thank you for your time today and sharing these important understandings about Union College and your leadership. This has been great. We want to encourage our audience to press that subscribe button and be sure to watch for other videos on this Imagine Kentucky Methodism network. May God bless you.